get right into it right here. My friend, he heard me talking about Jim Jones, and he don't really know a lot of hip hop stuff, because when I was younger and I was too busy listening to Puff Daddy and the Locks and Jadakiss and How to Rob and 50 Cent, he was working gas stations at night to put himself through college and stuff. So anyhow, I mean, also, he had a better support system, but that's my homeboy, right? So he's like, "Who's Jim Jones?" He said, "Jim Jones." He goes, "You mean the cult leader?" And I was like, "Well, actually, it's kind of funny because no," I said, "it's Jim Jones that the other guy told you about 3 weeks ago with the song Ballin'." And he goes, "Oh yeah, So I showed him the song Ballin', and then I would go boring. Well, anyway, so first of all, so like I said, if you're a young person and you're intrigued with this millennial hip hop in '90s or early 2000s, or you like hearing the stories about DT Vlad pretending that he solved Tupac's murder when it's not even actually the case, because not even Greg Kading solved his murder. But I'm getting all over the place. It was Russell Poole in my opinion. But anyways, but look at right here. Let's get back into this. So I told my boy, I says Jim Jones and the rapper, and I says, and the cult leader actually have a lot in common. I say Jim Jones led my kings and queens to be putting skulls and skeleton, and he led a lot of my kings, and not everybody, but a lot of us that listen to this message of cocaine and Dipset and Taliban. It led us to our early suicides of people in jail, prison, whatever. And then look at here. This is where so the rapper you guys love that's beefing with Fat Joe and Cameron. Well, his real name is Joseph Guillermo Jones. So he's not even a Jim Jones. At least Jones is his last name, but he's Joe Jones. So rapper Joe Jones is mad at Fat Joe. So Joe versus Joe. But then look at this. So this is the real Jim Jones, and he was a human being from European descent who led a bunch of my kings and queens to drink the Kool-Aid. He was a cult leader who mass murdered thousands of people between 55 and 78. So that's like 20 years. And I mean, if you look at it, that Jim Jones got like the same timeline of leading my kings to training school. So there you go, Fat Joe. If Fat Joe can talk about drugs and make it rain and spend money at strip clubs and Pistol Pete and Terror Squad,